Welcome to Formosa Dream Chasers.
We're your hosts, Mary Ann
and Ching En.
Please join us as we explore the journeys amazing people take in pursuit of their dreams.
And get insights from their experiences.
Let's hit the road
and get started.
Hello and welcome to Formosa Dream Chasers. In today's episode, writer and Bandung Pop Darlings author Irfan Muhammad takes a more reflective look at the life he's built here in Taiwan. In this final installment, Irfan shares thoughtful advice for foreign students and musicians hoping to make their mark, drawing from his experiences navigating culture, community, and creativity. Let's jump right back in. Is there a particular artist or project that you're especially proud of helping promote?
So when I just moved to Taiwan in 2021, it was November, and a year after I lived in Taiwan, I started to know like some festival organizer in Taiwan. So at that time, they invited me to join. But because I used to work as a journalist, so my point of view is about journalism. Oh, maybe they invited me to cover their festival. That's all. But when I attend to their event, I just realized it's like a gala.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like the opening of the festival in Thailand, the festival called Luck Fest. And in that festival, I met like some delegates from festival around the world, like from Japan, like Fuji Rock, and then Clockenflap from Hong Kong. I just realized I'm in a professional circle. Since that time, I changed my mind, like, oh, that's a new opportunity. I start to pretend myself as professional, and then I try to promoting a lot of Indonesian band. But yeah, also lucky me because I know some Indonesian bands before I moved to Taiwan, so I also can easily promoting them. And since that time, I feel greedy. I want to introduce all Indonesian band to Taiwan at that time. Yeah, like 2022, 2023. But I just realized I cannot help all of them because I only have a few time. And I learned from a lot of my Taiwanese friends that are very professional in the music industry. So I only focusing to one or two band. But I'm not only inviting them to perform in Taiwan, but I want to make them more connect to the Taiwanese audience. And also vice versa, when I introduce Taiwanese band, I only working with one or two Taiwanese band, but I can maximize my role to introduce them to the Indonesian audience. So right now, I only working with the reggae band from Indonesia, Rap of Rap.
Okay.
Yeah, and last August, I invited them to perform in Taipei Music Center.
Oh, wow.
And I think next year they will release their second album, their first album with the Taiwanese label. That's more interesting rather than I help like all Indonesian band that want to come to Taiwan.
So you've learned to sort of like, focus all of your energy to reach a certain goal as opposed to like, if you spread out your energy or efforts too much, then it also minimizes your impact. Okay, that's very smart. Understood. Going back into your journalistic background and also your experience with the entertainment industries in both Taiwan and Indonesia, could you share some similarities or differences that you've noticed?
In my opinion, working in the media industry in Taiwan is very chill compared to Indonesia.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
I don't know, because when I still working as a journalist in Indonesia, I have some assignment in the very vital events, like for example, presidential election in 2019. And also I need to stay in the Indonesian corruption watch for 2 years, and then in legislative in the parliament for another 2 years, and it's a very overwhelmed sometimes. But in Taiwan, because I only focusing on small pieces of Taiwan issues, which is migrant workers, so I think I still have a lot of time, and the deadline is not really harsh for me. So yeah, I think it's a very chill in my case. But for the entertainment industry, I think it's also very different with Indonesia, because for Indonesian band, we are already very enough if we only have the Indonesian market, because we are very huge. So when Indonesian band go abroad, they not really think about new listener in that country. They only want to make a content for their social media to show they're already international for the domestic market in Indonesia,
I see.
because their money, their sources is still in Indonesia. But for Taiwan bands, they really need to go abroad because Taiwan market is very small. So many KPI that I need to reach when I working with the Taiwanese bands, because I know they want to have a new listener in Southeast Asia, especially in my case, Indonesia. And it's not easy because like many Indonesian, I think, yeah, 90% of Indonesian cannot speak Mandarin, cannot understand Mandarin, and many Taiwanese bands singing in Mandarin, something like that. So I need to found some similarities to be a keyword when I introduce Taiwanese band to Indonesia. So yeah, that's point of view, that's a perspective of the entertainment industry in Indonesia and in Taiwan are very different. Yeah.
Speaking about the Taiwanese bands that you're promoting, do they perform a lot of songs in English? Because I think, like you said, there's also that language barrier. Actually, the overseas Chinese in Indonesia, do they speak Mandarin or do they
No,
speak?
cannot.
So
They cannot.
when you say they cannot, do you mean that they use a different dialect or they just don't speak Chinese?
No, some areas they can still speak dialect, but for some Chinese Indonesian in Java, I think they not really understand anymore because since 1966, learning Mandarin is was banned in Indonesia. Yeah, they cannot learn Mandarin.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah,
yeah, so the Taiwanese bands that you promote, majority of their songs are in Mandarin, correct?
yeah, and sometimes mix English and Mandarin.
Yeah, I see. So then what happens is for, let's say, Indonesian listeners, because they don't understand the words, it just mainly is about the sound and the rhythm then that they focus on.
Hmm. And sometimes I think like we also have some different references of music because like for example many Indonesian when they listen to music from abroad mostly from the West,
Ah, yes.
yeah,
And
so they need that Taiwanese band need to compete with these Western musicians
yes.
when they want to go to Indonesia. Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm just thinking back because I come from the Philippines that it's similar as well. Like a lot of the Filipinos like to listen to Western music as well. Going back to our conversation, since you've been in Taiwan for these many years, have you encountered any misconceptions or like maybe uncomfortable experiences living here?
I think for my personal experience is very smooth. People are
Okay.
very kind to me, but in some ways I also thinking it's not because I'm Indonesian. It's because of me. Like they see me as a people that come from other part of the world, not necessarily from Indonesia. Because for the general Indonesian, I saw there are still some quiet discrimination
Yeah.
and some stereotype about Indonesian. So when we're talking about being Southeast Asian in Indonesia, it's not as simple as only Southeast Asian, but we considered by a local with our own stereotype, like for example, Filipino, blah blah blah, Vietnamese, blah blah blah, Indonesia, blah blah blah. Even when we already become a new migrant, have a Taiwanese passport, that stereotype I think still be there. So yeah, I cannot deny that situation, even though it's
Mm-hmm.
not happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, when I'm talking about myself, I'm talking about my community. They already know me a lot. But when I'm
Yes.
encounter with Taiwanese people that not really know about me and they see me as Indonesian, maybe they have a different reaction.
Have you noticed any big changes from the first time you got here to present in terms of like this perception or the way they treat you?
I think because the music, we listen similar music. We have same taste in music, and we also have some references, so we can share our own hobby together, our own interests together. And I think it's also privilege because not many Indonesian in Taiwan come to live houses to see underground band, and my appearance is a very different with local, right? So it's a very easy for me to notice by them, like Or if there is Indonesia come to music event, so it should be Irfan. So yeah, it's also privilege, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
and when we had a conversation, yeah, I think my knowledge it's also helped me to blend it in with the local Taiwanese audience, especially in the music scene. So yeah, that situation helped me a lot. But again, I cannot set myself with other people's experience because I think we have a different experiences. But yeah, in my case, I help to blend it with the Taiwanese society because my interest in music, that's the tool to know
Hmm.
more about Taiwan as well for me.
So now that you're here, where you are right now in your life, looking back, what would you say has been the most fulfilling or rewarding part of your journey here in Taiwan?
Yeah, I think because many opportunities that I got in Taiwan, especially like last year, I started my role as the curator for the exhibition.
Oh, cool.
I never have any experience for the contemporary art. I had an experience to organize music event, but no for the art exhibition, and I had a chance to curate my exhibition, 2 months exhibition in quite a famous alternative gallery in Kongguan.
Okay.
That's an honor to me, and I also organized one showcase in Taipei Biennale. That's
Mm.
never in a wildest dream. In my wildest dream, I never thinking to join that exhibition or like a showcase in like a prestigious event like Taipei Biennale. But yeah, in that level, I just realized the things that I brought about Indonesia to Taiwan are new for my Taiwanese friends. Like Indonesian
Mm.
pop culture from the big city is quite new for them. So they want to know more, so they invited me to join. Yeah, like for example, when I joined the Taipei Biennale, I brought the topic about Meteor Garden in Indonesia, and I made a video essay with my friend from Indonesia
Mm.
about what's Indonesian people impression to EFSA or Meteor Garden, and it's a very interesting for the Taiwanese audiences, and they
Okay,
started to want to know more about the Indonesian pop culture.
I see. Could you share a little bit about the highlights? Like what did your Indonesian audience say?
For the Indonesian audience, I think, yeah, because we separate in several groups. I think it depends. For example, for the migrant workers, I think they don't really know about what I create in the art. But for
Mm-hmm.
music, we have a good connection for the Indonesian
Mm-hmm.
migrant workers. But for the Indonesian student, they can access my art project and my music project as well. So we also can share and we work together right now. I mean, like voluntarily.
Since we're talking about Indonesian students here in Taiwan, and since we're talking about your own journey coming here, what would you tell our audience who may be Indonesian, who are thinking of pursuing further studies and are looking to coming to Taiwan? What advice would you give them, or what would you say to encourage them to come here?
I think just try to know the local Taiwanese culture, and then you don't need to afraid to hanging out with Taiwanese, even though you cannot speak Mandarin. As long as we have a context to talk together, it's always a door to know more each other. Yeah,
Okay.
because I think for many Indonesian students, I know because they cannot speak Mandarin, they sometimes feel embarrassed to introduce themselves to Taiwanese people, like a Taiwanese community. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's okay, just hanging out and introduce yourself. That's okay.
Don't be scared,
Yeah.
is your message. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's cool. And then what about for musicians who are looking to expand their fan base to East Asia, to Taiwan, or who are wanting to come here to perform? What would your advice to them be?
Be humble.
Be humble.
Be humble
Really?
because sometimes some Indonesian bands that they want to expand to Taiwan, they already big name in Indonesia. So they think the world listen to them, but no, sorry. So yeah, they need to be humble and they need to start from the scratch when they go abroad, not only to Taiwan but also to other countries, of course, and also try to know the culture as well. Because like for example, they think like for example when we're talking about rock. maybe in Taiwan people more listen to Japanese rock rather than British rock, something like that. So please try to know the culture, and I can help to know to give me more advice and information about the culture in Taiwan and Indonesia.
Okay. Are you actually open to people approaching you for, to get more information?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, that's good to know. Irfan, seeing how, if I may use the word, spectacular and amazing your journey has been
Thank
so
you.
far, what would you say is next for you?
I don't know. Just let it flow. Just let it flow.
Just let it
Yeah.
flow. Are you going to focus on being a curator for now?
Not sure.
You're not
I don't
sure.
know. I just don't know. I just like do best what I can do. That's all.
Mm, I love your attitude. And if I may just ask one more question relating to what we discussed. Like I said, your journey has been amazing. I'm really curious, like, if a person like me would come to you and ask for some life advice, what would you share? I mean, you had a very stable life in Indonesia when we started talking about your journey.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad, and then you were looking to expand yourself. And then when you came here to Taiwan, when you first started, like you said, you were on partial scholarship. It wasn't entirely easy, and yet here you are today. You're doing the things that you love. You're working in an industry where you already excelled in
Mm-hmm.
while you were in Indonesia. So, like, what advice or life lesson can you share to help people who are still finding their way?
I think just be kind and still making a friends because I owe a lot to my friends, not only in Taiwan but also in Indonesia because I'm in this level because I have a lot of friends and still always curious. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my not advice, that's my perspective about life because I love hang out a lot. I can hang out together with my friend until 3 a.m. only to talking anything. Yeah, and I learned a lot from many of my friends about life,
Mm,
about how they struggle with their own life.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's create me.
I see what you mean. You need a community, basically. You need to know more people, and you also need to have genuine connections.
Yeah,
So, not just for networking, but just really having good people around you. Yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Since we're talking also about music, is there any particular Indonesian artist that you would like to mention for listeners to check out?
Yeah, my band, of course, Rap of Rap, RUB of RUB. They're very good and they're very chill music because they reggae up music. And then I think for Indonesia, that very interesting right now, it's BAP. BAP, it's like a hip hop artist. Maybe he will come to Taiwan next year.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then I think for the Taiwanese artists, many interesting Taiwanese bands currently, like the last 2 years, many new bands with the very fresh music references. So, yeah, like for example, if I can say like the Bloop, DEBLOOP, and then Taipei Midnight Stroll is also very interesting. Yeah, Say No Su. Yeah, I think right now I'm more familiar with Taiwanese band rather than Indonesian band.
Okay, sure. Before we end, is there anything else you wish to add?
I don't know how big these experiences or these practices can affect like Indonesian and Taiwan connection, but I just do what I love, and it makes me know more a lot of people that very kind to me, and I'm yeah very thankful with all of my Taiwanese friends and Indonesian friends, especially in music, that can working together and collaborate together. I feel blessed.
Thank you, Irfan, for your time.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. It was very inspiring because despite the lows that you went through, you came out happy and
Mhm.
fulfilled, and you're at a place where you're making a difference for a lot of people. So, thank you
谢谢.
for sharing your story so much.
Thank you,
And
thank you.
I look forward to chatting with you again next time.
Yeah, sure, sure. See you in Taipei.
This is Ching and Cho.
And Mary Ann Shako. See you guys next week. Bye.